Etifu kwa baba Dela Update TV na mesese nenda uba channel iso hita domana subscribe na like semi drop any latest news content obedi brain wenye bi etie na ensema ebo popano ano yage dems ya hwe ya enugwase de ebeka o my Ghana ni nyina ni say report titini say free SHS enuane a abane de momo no emo no etifu emo na Expire na ye busta ba ni say enti say ya oma tinka ubedi oma brose me no ya na sometimes me emphasize say abai na ngata no president na Dankwa Kufuado no ne appointees na wa appoint omo di no hwambo papa omo gu papa ni mase seriously omo gu ni mase because trend yes trend the free SHS no na see na de beba dia then I guess mutwam ni obia ekọ obia sponsor ne ba no ko duku yes na ye momro mi ntie nsem ne bia ba de ka ho no me mu nsem bebrem
is boarded say asem esi nyina no we a company na nipa bi egu hu fin ese mudin a what is stopping you people from coming out to tell Ghanaians to say all that is going on is a lie? In fact, we have subjected ourselves to investigations. We never brought in this kind of social rights, and when we brought it into Ghana, no, yanje rights no enguk temaport rights no ebi ansay in near so prove say ebi say ye amunikogu warehouse no ebi ko school wa ya shipi bi ba. Why do you think say this company of elements no they have not spoken? Mumusa mosa question no. The reason why elements for no enkasa and say the education minister educhum or na any laments for no etnase Nanabiya or the board chair of buffer stock or no NMI education minister no man green light ma laments for the begu buffer stock for the warehouse. Remember, ansana yede sa emoa ase we buffer stock warehouse no na buffer stock only 1 grain of rice. The Ministry of Education edin kind starve buffer stock of money. Into what happened and then say at a point the Ministry of Education led by Educhum no Ekache buffer stock say they are taking the distribution from them to give to another company. Into what happened is that buffer stock did not have anything in their warehouses. And a far woman and a big catch the education minister say then laments back to me the omomono I said no abegu buffer stock warehouse no more rebagi a mono. Into later na yebe say a mono. At the end of the day, no, more assay and Korani BD ewu, any other no, and a fay, educhum, a catcher and a bee, nana bee, a instructee, buffer stock say, omun release a day, a ye ECOWAS bag, any other planting for food bags, na omun fama a ye sa company we are, sa simon we did and rebag a mono. Into the process of rebagging the rice, and a FDA for any information on mobile buffer stock location. I'm about buffer stock location, no, and I'm take a sample of the rice. Now, I say no, and they took it away. Say, I'm lucky a warehouse, no, now until the test is done for them to see what is exactly in the rice. Emma a mono airborne. Remember, at a point, boys now bagging mono into different bags, no, almost skin in share. And this guy called Simon, he knows it. So full. This guy was there. Some of the boys, no, rebag a monegu another bag, no, a ye ECOWAS bag, any buffer stock bag, no, almost skin, adiachi and almost skin in ashi. And some of these boys were admitted in different hospitals, and those boys live with us in the system, especially by Ashanti Regional. Boys don't be bag mono, almost skin in ashi. So it shows you the amount of chemicals are not a walk, sir, lemons rice, my friend Moshosho rice, not Modema and Korani D. Now, when buffer stock actually went there, they see and they say, I'm to warehouse him and I'm to sample ni bikoye until somebody we test no. And it's 3 days. And a Simon way and the buffer stock for buy SABBA a warehouse no and rebag ye. Into rebag ye no and almost so monoside comma Ashanti region schools no and almost spread the akano across the nation. Into Usha emona the buy na 80% of a mono nina a Ashanti region or chair monoma or schools no. And I'm catching say a year okay headmaster no or your NPP chairman or one of the constituencies or no leady or more chair a moon nina edema these senior high schools ma enkorani die. In that period, Moon Sena enkorano more senior high schools no not omo yari. In fact, some of the kids died. And you see decided to go back. akwa a lot of the researcher. Yebehu say a majority of inquire this fool, a friend Simon, or a pastor or Assemblies of God. And I don't know why the Assemblies of God church are still keeping this fool as a pastor in their church. The leader of the Assemblies of God church, to allow this guy to be standing in front of people and preaching, one guy saw a crumb for. Unless you're a thief or a criminal, and such a person who has been poisoning Ghanaians and still poisoning Ghanaians, you still tell this fool to stand in front of church and say, "On preachy enche Ghana for." And the church, the Assemblies of God church, one person catch them say, they don't know say this criminal or say pastor or hono, he's involved. What are they doing about it? Have they handed this guy over to the police? So the Assemblies of God church, and then Mama Akroma for any dig Ghana for him say omo ya suffer in the name of Assemblies of God. The Assemblies of God, I know, they will not allow such a criminal to be standing before them say, "Onkanya mesem." So this is my last message to the Assemblies of God church. If you guys don't want the world to know, say, this is a church that is basically harboring criminals, people who basically feed young people with chemicals and they're poisoner. This guy should be kicked out of the church and handed over to the police. I don't know the leader of the Assemblies of God church. Messiah, get me his picture. I don't know the leader of the Assemblies of God church, but today, if the Assemblies of God church say, "Hey, sorry na I respect it. I respect that church so much." For a very long time, it's been one of those churches, they have been in the system for a long time. They have conducted themselves well, and it is so hard for anyone to even find something to say against the Assemblies of God church. But if such a person is working in Ghana, say he's a criminal, such a person who is a thief. Now, and the say through only action, ni greed in tea. Through the greed in tea, and yeah, poison and quarrel. We need to get serious here. I want to know who is the head of the Assemblies of God church. We don't care what is happening here. We don't care whoever goes to Assemblies of God. What we care about is the right thing needs to be done. And this fool, with him, some way by, for a long time, it had been in the system. But because Abai women nipa criminals in tea. Now, you see, minority in parliament and this for raise the issue, no. Almost say we need to arrest Lamen's directors over expired right distribution to SHS. And that the minority in parliament, NDC for catch the Ghana for say, Mumba Yanka anumbum, na amo de sa mu we by no, directors nene sa Simon in the head no, ya arrest you munina de omaba, would say, sa de no muye no, omo dibone. Obi to Ghana no so a blackwa is doing politics. Where Jimmy? Now, when you go back, let me show you something. Why are Aban we a dangerous government? Reverend Stephen Wangnam. This is our last warning to you. We respect you a lot. Let me take this off and put your picture up. And I know you are a man of God who has all the integrity. Me, I've followed a lot of churches in Ghana. Minima software do omokanokre, and I software omokanokre. Menya korasa. Assemblies of God are sorry we enye asori ketua yebetuama nipebi abese asori de nimunyam. So I am giving Reverend Wangnam all the respect he deserves. And Assemblies of God are sorry so enya asori ketua. And I know for a fact that there are thousands, at least millions of Assemblies of God members in Ghana. They will expect to say, Oma Sorry will take a decision today. That Simon guy, say, oh yeah, Assemblies of God member, he needs to be kicked out. And without due respect, Mr. Wangnam, the respect you carry, what you have done over the years, the way you have conducted yourself and been able, have gotten to this point, I don't expect you to allow such a fool, such a stupid idiot calling himself Simon, and then I'm all poison and for. So without due respect, without due respect, I expect the Assemblies of God Church to release a statement to disassociate itself from this boy, this guy called Simon, because the government of the day needs to make sure he goes to jail. He has poisoned hundreds and hundreds of Ghanaians, and not just Ghanaians, young Ghanaians in senior high schools. So this guy called Simon, let me put his picture on the side. Mr. Wangnam, this guy called Simon, he needs the church needs to disassociate itself from this criminal. And it should be done in less than 24 hours. The church, the Assemblies of God Church, they need to disassociate themselves from this criminal. Anything linking this guy to the church, they need to cut it off. Because the embarrassment this guy has brought to the church needs to make sure they cut off such a bile. They cut off such a demon. Because this guy has to go to jail. He needs to rot in jail. And we have to make sure every single person involved in this poisonous rice are distributed around the nation. Every single person is called to book. Every single person is punished. Now, let's go back to the story. I'm in show DB. You see, the Auditor General's report, 2021, there was some very important information in the report. 2021 Auditor General's report in the the Auditor General mentioned laments rice. Our report said they were distributed unwholesome food to the schools. Okay, thank you, Mr. S. Thank you, Mr. P. The Auditor General in 2021, the Auditor General's report, Okanwa report him say, laments company they have brought food that unwholesome into Ghana. So it means say all the way back in 2021, not this company, they were supplying their poison food to Ghanaians. And not just Ghanaians, young Ghanaians in senior high schools. And then the most critical part of this whole conversation. And then I know some tabu say na inkofo we into omo ye nipa na omo ye mwa. Because all the way in 2021, anytime last time I catch Ghana for say, when some people get up and say, I'm sorry. So be sorry now catch will say, oh, the constitution needs to be reviewed. The constitution, with all due respect, some parts needs to be touched. But we have not exhausted the constitution. Know the why? Because when the Auditor General puts a report out, the Auditor General needs to follow up, and everyone who is guilty in that report needs to be punished. Those who are supposed to be surcharged are supposed to be surcharged. This is the situation. The Auditor General audits companies that are supplying unwholesome food to the schools, and they know for a fact that the food these companies are supplying, wholesome, chemicals, poison. The Auditor General refuses to take action. That's why I keep telling you, it is not a constitution. It is about us holding people accountable. It is about us making sure people we have given positions to, they work and they are accountable to the people. In any serious country, the Auditor General will be fired today. Because he was supposed to move ahead. He was supposed to, at the end of the day, search out this company to come and tell Ghanaians why they are distributing unwholesome food to young Ghanaians in Ghana. Now, look at this. When you read the Auditor General's report, and this says, report of the Auditor General on the public accounts of Ghana, pre-university educational institutions for the final year ended 31st December 2021. Now, Uko read the report. Now, this is what you see. Let's read what's in the report. Okay, team. Now, this is what's in the report. Now, when you read the report, page 133, supply of unwholesome food items, where the Auditor General's report, 2021, page 133. This is what the Auditor General discovered, and this is what he put in the Auditor General's report. It is obligatory because you will come to that part. Because they think yani Ghana for ya mwa ye nimu nyansa omo poison nkwara no ye ka so omo se ye mom ni ye jimi. It's like they are telling us that we are mad. Abra ye nim say we are not mad. And it is not only the young NPP pigs, that the older pigs too are doing the same. It's getting to that point where we realize, say, is this party in government to protect you and I? And I say, because of power, they wouldn't care. So be fidie, poison cry yendi. Auditor General's report, already page 133. This is what it says. It says this: 608.608, supply of unwholesome food items. Let's read what's in there. 2021 Auditor General's report, page 133. Facts, no, we are not, we need that, very important. In contravention of Section 52 of the PFM Act, that's the PFM Act, 2016 Act 921, we noted that supplies of 60 5 bags of rice in March 2021 to Prestia Huni Valley Senior High School and Technical School, and 5 cartons of Kaneshi milk to Asankregwa Senior High School by Lemens Ventures were found to be unwholesome at our time of audit in September, though the expiry date on the product was October 2021. Now, point 609. Now, first one, I'm going to say, against a emra Auditor General di ejumano. So, oba Auditor General some of Kai 2021 report. I'm going to say, omo echeki eye innuane eye de ama schools wo Ghana no omo ko hu say se wukọ eye de Prestia Huni Valley Senior High School emo a eye lemens e de ba eye 65 bags of rice any Kaneshi milk na enkwara ne nom no de emo no de omo hu say 65 bags of rice omo ko eye de eye Prestia Huni Valley Senior High School no na emu ni nyina say we 2021 I did the expose in 2023. Meaning, before that, these people, they had been supplying, or they have been supplying unwholesome food to our senior high schools around the nation. Now, almost omuko medimno, omuko Asankregwa, my favorite place, ekura me do e Ghana pa, Asankregwa no, omu hu say, Asankregwa Senior High School no, 5 cartons of Kaneshi milk a free lemons no so, and so na say, even though no date na also na chese 2021 na asay ena na eduane no gu school a enkwara ni di
Yadamase Samoje Bresso Daily Update TV so